What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here. So we take a start here today with what Border Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas says here, with the announcement that President Biden is going to be building border wall here in Texas here with a shark. People are stunned here with this announcement here. What's shocking here is take a look here. I'll show you what some footage here and what Mayorkas says here. It's still crazy because Biden is still going back and forth on what he's saying here. Biden says, yeah, Biden stuns allies with border wall bombshell here, saying Democrats have long denounced and shocked allies and immigration advocates. The stunning reversal came just days after administration officials participated in an immigration roundtable after at the Capitol featuring Congressional Hispanic Caucus members and immigration advocates. CHC leaders called the decision disappointing Thursday. While this border wall funding was signed into law by President Trump under Republican leadership, the decision is not in line with the current administration's commitment to end border wall construction. Republicans remain committed to border walls that are ineffective, a poor use of taxpayer funds, and a strain on the local environment, endangering families and children who are fleeing from dangerous conditions. I mean, I can understand the dangerous conditions here, but and seek legal asylum in the United States, said CHC Chairman Barragan said in a statement. But and asked whether Biden believes the border wall works. Biden's side, no, no, as he makes this decision to build this section of border wall. First of all, to Biden, if you're going to make this decision to build this border wall, first of all, just own it, right? Just own it, right? I mean, we know the border wall situation is an absolute nightmare. Right? I mean, come on. I mean, second of all, about this statement that, people are coming and seeking legal asylum through this open section of border wall. It's not legal asylum if you're running through the border through an open section of border wall. That's not legal asylum. If you're just running across the border and running through and coming into, that's illegal. I mean, I think we all know that, right? That's not coming in the proper and legal way. I mean, come on, guys, let's be realistic here. Take a listen to what Border Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas says and some footage here.
All right, so you mentioned you're down there in Texas with the border, and the border is our lead story today because the Secretary of Homeland Security, Mr. Mayorkas, apparently snapped out of it and realized, wait, there's like a gazillion people flooding into the country. And now they're announcing that there's an immediate need to build 17 miles of border wall in Starr County, Texas, because of illegal entry. Now, this was initially announced in June. It's part of what Joe Biden, though, announced in his inauguration. Essentially, they're ending the diversion of border money from military projects and using actual money that Congress appropriated for stuff like this.
Yeah, the DHS, they posted this announcement and outlining just where this construction would be in Starr County, like you said, Steve. It's part of a very busy Border Patrol sector, seeing very high illegal entry. 245,000 illegal entries have been recorded this fiscal year in the Rio Grande Valley sector, and that contains 21 of these counties. So everyone was shocked when they heard Alejandro Mayorkas say this. He said there is presently an acute and immediate need to construct physical barriers and roads in the vicinity of the border of the United States in order to prevent unlawful entries into the United States. That is a sharp contrast to the early days of this administration.
I think we're missing the whole story. This president who got in saying, I'm going to use high tech and we don't need a wall, I'm going to change these horrible policies, has now found out that his policies are terrible. It has caused the biggest collapse on our border in American history. And not building the barrier is not going back to the Viking age. It is actually absolutely necessary. And the thing was, last month, we found out they were selling the wall that we paid for as taxpayers for pennies on the dollar because the Senate was beginning to move on forcing the construction of that wall. Now, Mayorkas is admitting that he's building just 20 miles of that wall. Just 20 miles. So that's going to be in desperate areas of Texas and Eagle Pass area, but it should be 500 miles. Here's what he said. Yeah, listen, look at all that wall that should be standing, helping our border patrol and our country. Instead, for pure political reasons, he's selling it off in order not to be forced to build it. Here's what he said in 2020, remember.
Build that wall. Are you willing to tear that wall down?
No, there will not be another foot of wall constructed on my administration.
Lawrence, totally wrong. Now he's got to build it. He's got his Secretary of State of Mexico City. He's got 2 mayors scrambling there. He's got Democratic governors criticizing him. He has no choice.
So, Brian, that was during campaign season. Now we're at another campaign season, and now because it's become an election issue, they're altering their position on it. 20 miles of wall is a joke in the state of Texas. Do they know the terrain that we have here on the border? It's clear that the president has not visited the border because he would know that if they only put 20 miles there, that the cartel is only going to redirect the migrants to go to a different direction. So, again, I think it is for appearance only to show, hey, I am trying to do something. But at the end of the day, 20 miles of border is not going to solve the crisis that's at the southern border. Why does he not answer? Why wouldn't he sell the information as well as all the technology, as well as all the border fencing to the state of Texas when we tried to buy it, when it had already been paid for by U.S. taxpayers? Right. So, again, this has been not only been a president that has been asleep at the wheel on this issue, but he's been quite divisive as well when Texas tried to do the security ourselves.
And this is a little too late, right, Lawrence?
Yeah, obviously the border situation is absolute nightmare. I think even most Democrats agree with this. We can't just have millions of people just illegally flooding into our country. Most border towns in Texas, Southern California, and Arizona are an absolute nightmare. They can't even handle the flood of hundreds of thousands of people, millions of people overall, just flooding into their towns. I've seen the comment sections down below here of people that are in those areas, and they're just being overwhelmed. They're just being overwhelmed. And it's a national security issue. And over the course of the last several years, it has varied and even at some point been the #1 issue in our country. And it's a major problem for our country. And other countries don't let this happen either. In fact, some other countries will literally shoot people if they try to come over the border illegally. So you guys can let me know your thoughts on this, but yeah, and the other problem is that you can't always just assume, or even I think it's naive to assume, that Border Patrol guards will always catch every single person trying to come over the border. It's just not even possible. And I think about the manpower and the money spent trying to do that. I mean, surely a wall helps, whether you're Republican, Democrat. Just be a realist on this. I mean, and again, the United States is not the only country that has something like this. Yeah. So you guys can let me know your thoughts on this. It's a major problem here. And of course, a problem that is not going to be solved overnight. And this has been a problem going on for decades, truly. So I'll keep you up to date here. If you haven't yet, click the subscribe button down below and the bell icon. Don't forget to like and share these videos. Click here to see Russia talking about exploding a nuclear bomb over their own country. Or click here to see Russia talking about invading 5 NATO countries. It's getting crazy out there. Click on one of those videos next. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.